for you. This is Mimi Green, who has also got a question coming in. Mimi, you're on with Malcolm. What's your question?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, Cute Lips. How you doing?
I am great. So I'm the lifestyle blogger of MimiCuteLips.com.
Nice.
And, okay, so I have a question, but I have to say, I'm a big Sons of Anarchy fan, and I really had enjoyed seeing you. I didn't expect to see that kind of character role from you. So that was nice. So my question is, what are your thoughts on the killings and just the unjust treatment of our black men that is going on in our society today?
I think technology is amazing and social media is amazing. And we are at a point where people who aren't aware of police brutality and how prevalent it is in the African American community, or those who didn't want to believe it, can't help but now see it and see that this is our story on an ongoing basis. And the fact that we are witnessing it every day and the fact that it's still happening is only proof that, one, we've not been lying. This really is our existence. And I think the Black Lives Matter movement is has been such a force to be reckoned with. I mean, South Carolina, they took down the Confederate flag. That was the Black Lives Matter movement, no doubt about it. So I think we're in a time where, as we tend to talk about the younger generation and how they're slackers and, aren't really invested in their future, social media really shows us firsthand that there's younger generation out there who is, they are being organized, they are being active, they are engaging in making the kind of changes that need to be made. And you need that kind of young energy to really be that powerful. So I think, though it's a time where we are bombarded with these images of police brutality, it's also a time where we're armed with proof that this is going on.
I think a lot of people are very, very upset with the fact that it's 21st century. This is America. We're supposed to be, the leaders, the free world, all this democracy, and yet this is happening, and it's happening on our doorstep and the doorsteps of neighborhoods across the country. Do you feel like there is going to be, within your lifetime, within our lifetimes, a turning point where this kind of brutality, this kind of fear that young black people live under just for the color of their skin is going to dissipate?
At some point, I don't know. I don't necessarily know if it will be in my lifetime, but the change, the beginning of the change, will happen in my lifetime because, at a very significant level, we're now recognizing, or the system is now recognizing, and will be further forced to deal with the training, from a very basic level, because it's not like these are just one-offs. There is something inherently wrong with the system and how a lot of these police officers are being trained in terms of how they see people of color. So they are being forced to recognize that. So I think change, it takes time for change to really be changed. But I definitely think in my lifetime that we at least will be able to see some of that starting to change.
Yeah, and I want to read this tweet that you put out. You said Tamir Rice was 12 years old. If you still take offense to Black Lives Matter, fuck you. Again. Who is that aimed at? I mean, are you getting people on your timeline telling you that this doesn't matter? Are you seeing people that are trying to take down the movement or parts of it?
So it started out. So the fuck you again was because it started out with my first tweet was about Eric Harris back in April. And that original tweet was, fuck your breath. It's how a police, was what a police says to a black man after being shot by another police. So if you are offended by Black Lives Matter, fuck you, because there are so many people, who love to say, well, what about white lives matter and all lives matter? And it's like, yes, that's true. We recognize that. But Black Lives Matter is not... we're not ignoring that all lives matter, but we are seeing a prevalence of black people who are being literally murdered We've been being murdered since we've been brought to this country. But Black Lives Matter for us is this is what we're seeing on. We're not seeing white people being murdered almost daily by police brutality. We're not seeing Latino people being murdered almost on a daily basis. So when we say Black Lives Matter, again, there's this misconception that whenever we are pro-black, it means anti-white or anti-everything else, and it's frustrating. And it's frustrating how people can get on social media and hide behind their avatars and say really nasty things about people of color when, you know, there was another post I put out that black people are literally saying, stop killing us. And people are saying, but that gets infuriating.
Hence the fuck you again.
Hence the fuck you again. Well, you know, I absolutely agree. From Eric Garner to Freddie Gray, I mean, we've seen it from state to state to state. You know, there's no disputing the fact that this is happening. So, of course, we need to be talking about it. There needs to be change. Thank you so much, Malcolm. Such a pleasure to come on Huff Post Live. Thank you very much. And guys, a big thank you to all of you out there in the Huff Post Live community as well. Ella, Jonna, Mimi, and everyone else from the Huff Post Live community who joined in. And don't forget, Selfless is available now. More information on the album and all of Malcolm-Jamal Warner's work is in our resource well, so check out those links and stay with us. More conversations are coming up right here on Huff Post Live.